Can penguins with jetpacks solve climate change? A ridiculously overthought guide to a seemingly simple concept. So, at first I thought that the basic premise could be that the penguins, with their Antarctic chill, could help with global warming. However, this hypothesis was immediately disproved by a simple Google search, as seen here, which shows that penguins, on average, have a warmer body temperature than humans, thus lessening their effectiveness. So my second point is that the penguins could absorb a lot of the sun with their black coats. The more light a color absorbs, the more heat it absorbs, since light is energy. Thus, penguins, with their black coats, could potentially absorb a lot of the sun's heat in place of us. Now, however, this is where it starts to get difficult. To make this easier, I've split this into main points. Our first question: how would we theoretically get penguins in jetpacks? We have two options here. We just do it. We strap a bunch of penguins in jetpacks and then just send them off. Or, going the longer route, the penguins could figure out the jetpacks themselves. We just have to put them near their habitats and common feeding areas, states my muse, Aspen. Go check them out on AO3, link in the description. Now on to the next question. How many penguins would we even need? While I'm still running calculations, no I'm not, I'm too lazy, the current estimate runs somewhere around or over 1 million penguins, which brings us to our next question. How do we theoretically get this many penguins? Now, this may seem like a tough question, but the answer is really quite simple. We would clone them. Cloning has been done before. In 1996, a sheep was cloned. In 1963, an Asian carp. Want some more examples? There's Cumulina the mouse, 1997, Noto and Kaga the cows, 1998, A Family of Pigs, Millie, Alexis, Krista, .com, and Carol, 2000, Tetra the rhesus monkey, 2000, Copycat the domestic cat, 2001, Prometia the horse, 2003, Libby and Lily the ferrets, 2004. The list spans on. While penguins have yet to be cloned, it is only a matter of time before we finally have successful penguin clones. However, this idea does not come without its costs. For example, the cost of the jetpacks. A quick search in Google Shopping shows that a jetpack costs over $1,000 USD. Plus the materials needed for making so many jetpacks and the cost of all the fuel needed to keep the penguins up would add up to a lot. Another cost we need to look out for is the cost of cloning, plus the cost of all the scientists' salaries working on the cloning, unless we just kidnapped a random scientist or random few scientists, but that would not be recommended. Anyways, another problem would be money to feed all those penguins. Now, another problem we'd run into here is pollution and bird poop. The pollution from all the carbon emissions from the jetpacks would be enough to cause even further problems with our atmosphere. The solution? Plant a lot of trees. Plastic trees. Physicist and engineer Klaus Lackner has created artificial trees that are significantly more efficient in capturing CO2 than nature's trees. If we planted enough of those, we could offset the carbon dioxide emissions from the jetpacks. Another problem is the bird poop from the penguins. What will happen with that? Well, penguin poop is actually highly sought after for its uses as fertilizer and even its use to help manufacture gunpowder. We can use the poop to fertilize our trees and other plants because the environment's going to need a lot of that thanks to the jetpacks. More problems we may encounter have to do with height. For example, the oxygen levels up there would be admittedly not too great. We'd probably have to create mini spacesuits for the penguins, adding even more to our cost section. Another problem we'd have is keeping the penguins level and not having them fly off in random directions. We could program the jetpacks to go to a certain height and create a blanket of penguins that would surround the Earth, link the penguins together, and then we wouldn't have to worry about them flying off. Another problem we'd have is getting food up there. However, I suppose the penguins could be dead as long as they still blocked out the sun's UV rays, so I guess it really doesn't matter if they're alive or not. Okay, so, in conclusion, although the premise of penguins on jetpacks solving climate change sounds quite promising, after much contemplating over the hypotheticals, I conclude that it would be inefficient in money, time, and would probably end up being quite counterproductive to the environment. Just ignore the fact that the images do not match up with what I'm saying at all. Anyways, you would probably also have to bribe quite a bunch of government officials and animal rights activist groups to get away with this, further adding to the costs. Thus, although it could possibly work, penguins on jetpacks is not a recommended course of action to combat climate change. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a good day. Remember, this is all highly theoretical and I would not recommend trying to do this in real life. Please do not do this in real life. Thank you again, and bye!